When I became aware of the fire, I was outside working on getting meat prepared for the animals for their meat feeding. And that is when one of the other staff members came outside and said, "There's a fire, does anyone see it?" I had no idea that there was a fire. We started looking around. There were a couple wisps of clouds up above one of our ridge lines, our north ridge line, and kind of pointed it out and said, "This might be where the fire is. It just looks like a couple, real light clouds." Within probably 15-20 minutes of that first initial, "There's a fire somewhere, has anyone heard anything?" This huge plume of smoke, really dark black smoke, came up over the north ridge line, and we just started watching it just kind of grow and get bigger.
It was quite a smoke plume. It was pretty big. So it was a very questionable state, and it looked like we needed to take some action. And when you have a forest fire raging and a whole bunch of people involved wanting to know what's going on, it's a pretty stressful event to try to figure out.
So my first reaction was, let's figure out where this fire is. We sent a couple people up to the top of our road to kind of try and get a better eyeball out of the valley where the fire was coming from. We also got on the computer, started looking at the Larimer County website, looking on news channel websites. When we determined that the fire was relatively close to us, we kind of split our forces. So we had volunteers. Some of them finished doing the meat preparation for the day, and we got others on to starting to set up kennels and put kennels back together in case we needed to evacuate, and just kind of monitored the fire from there.
We decided that we needed an option, and the fire dens, in a way, they mimic a natural habitat of a wolf den and a natural reprieve that a wolf might take in the event of a wildfire. So we've got essentially a concrete bunker with 8-inch thick solid concrete walls that's half buried in the ground, and it has an entryway that doubles back on itself and provides a large amount of heat shelter, as basically the concrete will take a lot of time to actually get hot with a fire on the outside of it, to a point where it provides a good measure of protection for the animals as a fire comes through and keeps them out of harm's way. The fire dens gave us a lot more options and flexibility on the who, how, and where of the entire evacuation protocol.
All of the funding for W.O.L.F is received from the general public, and with special projects like the fire dens, we likewise count on on the general public and our general supporters to help us fund the expense of building those fire dens. Bottom line, it's going to depend on the nature of the fire. If it's a fast-moving fire, we are not going to be able to do much in the way of evacuation. It becomes strictly those socialized animals will get evacuated quickly. The ones that are unsocialized will have to count on fire dens for their survival.
My name is Daniel Allen, and my responsibility for the past 2 months is building fire dens. You first got to get the materials, then you dig a big hole in the side of a mountain, then you build chutes and pour a concrete floor, and you build bricks, and then you pour a concrete ceiling, and then you backfill, you build fences around it, and you let the wolves have their new house. We're gonna build at least 15, and we have other side of the mountain, which is going to be somewhat easy because it's all downhill from the fire road. And this side, all the concrete's going to have to be carried in 5-gallon buckets.
Really almost ironic that just a couple months ago we were trying to figure out a way to tell all of our supporters, and show them, what goes on with the fire den, what the fire den was, and we thought of putting out a video to really show and illustrate what a fire den was and how we thought it was gonna work and all of that. And now with the High Park fire, it's actually kind of been put into action. We've been very excited about the fire dens for a couple years now. not just for fires, but for year-round shelter from the elements. And we really wanted to try and illustrate that for people. And we came up with an idea of getting a video out there. We knew that fires were going to be coming, so our preparations for the fire started back in 2009. So we've been continually progressing and moving and evolving to try and make the sanctuary the best and safest home for these animals that we can, because a lot of these animals have come from very broken homes, and we're their forever home, and they deserve a good one. The survival rate for our animals at the sanctuary was 100%. We did not lose a single animal to this fire, and that's absolutely amazing, considering that this is the second worst fire in Colorado's history, and it came right up to our front doorstep. Every single animal, even the ones left behind, came out of there okay, and were able to survive the fire. Many even grew and I would almost say thrived in their temporary situations as a result of the evacuation.